Welcome back to the Golden Vice. I'm Sean. Thanks for watching another one of my videos. If you like these, please subscribe, like, and tell your friends. Today I'm going to just do a fly that kind of shows that you can do flies without spending a lot of money. So my trusty old feather duster, and then just some yarn, which my wife has a bunch of yarn. I bought this, but I could have used hers. And then some cord. This is basically polypropylene. And there's a step you have to do. You have to turn it into this, but that's not that hard to do. And then the yarn you turn into this, which is just a bunch of different dubbing colors made from the yarn. You just cut the strips of the same color and dub them out. So with that, we're going to tie a spent wing dry fly. And the fly, I believe, will float like crazy because this polypropylene stuff is incredibly buoyant. All right. Now that I have my thread on the hook, and I'm going to tie that tail just a little bit long. And that's mostly because these no hackle dry flies, they can always use a little bit of help to float. Alright, so you remember the polypropylene. So we're just going to grab a little clump. Not a lot. Alright, so get your polypropylene, and I twist it a little bit just to make it a little bit easier to get on the hook. And then I'm going to do 2 turns, angling it back to start my X across the top of the hook. And then I get 2 relatively loose, and what that does is that gives you that. Once you've done that, you can tighten things up. And then I'm gonna just do like a little post wrap couple of times, and then the same thing on the other side, and that's just going to help keep those fibers together. All right, that's what you should end up with. Now I got to decide what color to make this. I think I'm going to go with this kind of tan color. And you do not need much dubbing. As a matter of fact, I almost always get too much dubbing. And one of the secrets of dubbing, which I am not very good at, is less is better. Because you can always put more on, but it's kind of a pain to take dubbing off. Alright, now I'm going to go slow because this polypropylene has a tendency to want to grab your thread. So you're going to want to be a little bit careful. Now when you get to here, you're going to have to do an X. Let's show that X. As you can see that there's a bit on the bottom that still needs some dubbing, so I'm going to need some more wax. Just put a little bit more dubbing on. Just about as thin as you can manage. Longer and thinner is usually better than shorter and fatter. Right. Okay, and we're going to try again. Cover that bottom. It's still got a little bit. Alright, so that's what it looks like on top, and that's what it looks like on bottom, and that's what it looks like from one side, and I can't really see on the other side. But I think that's good. So now we're just going to whip finish this thing and trim the wings and call her done. All right, so now really the only thing left is a little bit of head cement, and I mean just a little bit. And that should be plenty. And now we just need to trim this wing. So to do that, I just lift it straight up, figure out what my length is, I just cut it at the same time. And then there's your finished fly. You got one little polypropylene strand hanging out. But that polypropylene, I mean, that stuff is just so full of air pockets and things. That will float forever, and it should be very visible on the water. All right. Well, there it is. I don't have a name for it. It's just a polypropylene spinner, I guess. And you can tie this in any color. I mean, I've tied them in these colors from, I mean, you can use, you know, real dubbing. You can use fur dubbing. You could tie it with quill. You could tie it with just about anything you wanted to. You can use better tailing material. You could use coque de leon. I mean, but this polypropylene stuff, you cannot beat it for making floating wings. All right, again, please subscribe if you like this and tell your friends. And I'll get to another one next week. Thanks.